going to go into some of the benefits of feeding raw dog food. Today, we are not going to concentrate on the negatives. We are simply going to go over some of the benefits of raw dog food. Now, please like, please subscribe, and any questions you may have about raw dog food or raw food at all, please let me know. I'll be very happy to read you. Now, the first thing I would like to draw your attention to would be fresh is fresh and processed is processed. So the realization that fresh food, aka raw dog food, is fresh, comes in fresh, that has to be a positive. So that is the first positive. Fresh food, raw food is fresh, is better for you, is deemed to be better. Whereas kibble, for example, or anything canned, or anything processed, anything that has been processed, manufactured, that has gone down the manufacturing process is pretty is it has been processed. Whereas fresh is fresh. If you buy fresh chicken, if you buy fresh vegetables, they have a very short window as to they are perishable goods. So raw food contains enzymes that helps our dogs digest their food, and live bacteria is live bacteria, and that is a lot better. Now, dogs are very well equipped to breaking down raw dog food, and they have short stomachs, they have the jaws of a carnivore, they have acid-like stomach acid to break down all the bone and all the shards and everything. So raw dog food is fresh, and that has to be the first pro. It's a really good way of thinking about things. Even if you feed your dog a minimally processed kibble, raw food will be better because it is fresh, and fresh, the power of fresh food is incredible. So what can you take away from fresh food? Well, even if you feed kibble, if you feed whatever you feed, adding maybe some fresh food would be incredible, would render incredible benefits to your dog if you think about it. So let's say that my dog consumes two things of kibble every single day, 7 days a week. How can I improve their diet? Well, can I add anything fresh maybe once or twice a week? And we know that again, fresh is going to be a lot better than anything processed. So fresh has to be the first thing we look at. The second thing, and I was highly skeptical about this when I started way back, and this is a healthier skin and coat. We now know that around 30% of your dog's overall protein intake goes towards coat maintenance. If you have a double-ended coated dog, I have a golden retriever. If you have something like a German Shepherd, if you have a collie, if you have a husky, if you have a breed that requires that beautiful fur needs to be maintained. And it needs to be maintained by protein, by the amino acids in the protein. So if you feed, for example, oily fish as part of your raw food diet, raw diet. Hi, Ruth. He's not here, but you've got my cat there and my dog right there. So yeah, I have a cat and a dog. They are beautiful. They are the loves of my life. Thank you for the comment. Please like and subscribe. So if you feed any oily fish to your dogs as part of a fresh diet, as part of a species appropriate diet, these will be very beneficial. We are talking omega-3s, omega-6s, these are fatty acids. And we see that once you transition your pet onto raw dog food, their skin, their coat becomes shinier and better. And this is something that at first I couldn't really believe. And then when you start looking into this and telling people about the benefits of raw dog food, then that is surely a very, very good thing. So first one, fresh diet is a better diet. The second one, the skin and the coat of your dog will be a lot better, will be silkier, will be smoother, will have a certain shine to it. And that's something you don't really get with some of the highly processed kibbles out there. But again, if you feed a raw dog food, that is something you will encounter. The third one has to do with teeth, and pets' periodontal disease and dogs' periodontal disease and gum issues and teeth issues are off the charts. If you think about it, anytime your dog eats a bone or something that resembles a bone, that stimulation, that chewing, that chomping is very, very good for them. And it cleans teeth. That is what cleans teeth. And so cleaner teeth and better breath is another thing. Now, nobody will tell you this, and I don't really know why, but dogs don't have something called amylase in their mouth. Amylase is an enzyme that breaks down starches in the mouth, and dogs don't have it. So you watching this and me, whenever we eat bread or we eat rice or we eat anything, any starches whatsoever, we start breaking it down in the mouth. Dogs don't have it, and cats there don't have it either. They don't have that enzyme, and it's called amylase. And so if you feed your dog kibble and it's a cereal based kibble or has sugar in it or has any sort of a lot of potato, for example, a lot of tapioca, a lot of stuff like that, well, that's going to have a detrimental impact on your dog's teeth and breath, because your dog's mouth isn't equipped to breaking down carbohydrates, to breaking down starches. Now, they can break down some starches in the pancreas and kidneys, but it isn't really what they are designed to do. So number one is fresh. Fresh is deemed to be a bit better. The second one is a healthier skin and coat. The third one is clean teeth and better breath. Number four, big subject, and this is on allergies. And raw dog fed dogs are better when it comes to allergies. And why are they better whenever it comes to allergies? Again, fresh food is fresh food. And a lot of the processed kibbles out there contain things like natural flavor. If you live in the US, if you are watching from the US, you will see a lot of kibbles contain natural flavors. If you are here in the UK, you see a lot of meat and animal derivatives. You see a lot of animal fats. You see a lot of things that are quite vague. So so yeah, YouTube dog, can you say hi, Brandon? Because that's my little cousin's name, and he's only 2 years old today. Hi, Brandon. You all right? Please like and please subscribe. So yeah, by feeding your dog a species appropriate diet, something fresh, you are going to be able to pinpoint, to identify what you are giving your dog. So you give your dog a tray of fresh food, and that fresh food contains freshly prepared beef and raw chicken and raw turkey livers. You know what you are giving them precisely, like precisely to a T. But if I give my dog natural flavors, or I give my dog meat and animal derivatives, or I give my dog chicken meal, some of these rendered ingredients are pretty poor for our pets. So the likelihood that your dog is going to be more prone to allergies on a kibble diet, it's certainly something quite high. So again, if you are feeding kibble at the moment and you want to up the ante, as it were, you can maybe once or twice a week add some fresh food, and that would be extremely beneficial to your dog. So if you feed your dog raw, the your dog will be less prone to developing allergies, and this is a huge thing, absolutely huge. The first thing we tell people whenever they come to us and they have some sort of allergies is take them off processed food and put them onto fresh food, and that sometimes in and of itself solves the whole problem. So that's incredible. Please let me know any questions. We will go through the questions at the end of the live stream. We are talking about the benefits of raw dog food. We have covered allergies. If you feed your dog a species appropriate diet, something fresh, your dog is going to be less likely to developing an allergy, and that is something absolutely key sometimes. Number 5 is better weight control. If you think about it, whenever we feed a dog kibble, kibble is very processed, and the pellets are can be quite quite dense whenever it comes to nutrition, whereas raw dog food can be a bit easier to manage. So I think, and this is from observational anecdotal evidence, as it were, dogs that are on fresh foods can maintain their weight a bit better. And obviously, if you have a dog that's overweight, pancreatitis, diabetes, again, your periodontal diseases, and these things are pretty nasty. They incur some pretty high vet bills, and that's not something I want for your dog. So, better weight control, the ability to control your dog's weight with portion control with raw dog food is a lot higher on this than on kibble. Kibble at the end of the day is compact, is a lot more dense, whereas fresh food, again, can be digested a bit easier. Number 6 can be increased energy. Now, if you think about it, right, with kibble, kibble needs to be put together, needs to be bound together by starches. You cannot just turn meat into a pellet. It's impossible. You need to put some sort of a starch in the kibble. And so, whenever you remove that starch, your dog's insulin levels and insulin spikes aren't going to be as high. If you go to McDonald's, that sugary bread, that lovely feeling of this is quick and lovely and sugary and very starch heavy, you feel really well maybe half an hour after you've done it. But then you sort of crash a little bit. Your mood goes up and down. The same is true with raw dog food. So you are able to increase your dog's energy whilst maintaining your dog's energy with raw dog food, because you're not adding any further starches or carbohydrates into the diet. And that's always something very welcome. Number 7 is enhanced hydration, and hydration is huge, especially if you live in a warm country or a very hot country. If you live in India, for example, if you live in California and it's absolutely scorching outside, the one thing you want to do with your pet is keep them well hydrated. Now, a chicken breast comprises the first ingredient in chicken breast is moisture, is water. The first ingredient in cucumber is the water in the cucumber. A lot of fresh foods are very, very water rich, and that's something key for hydration. We know, for example, and this is a bit more prevalent in cats than it is in dogs, but chronic dehydration is a thing. It's an actual thing, and we don't want our dogs to be chronically dehydrated all the time. And so that's something we don't want for our dogs. So if we can keep our dogs better hydrated with the power of food, well, that is a winner. And if you switch your dog onto raw, you know that your dog is going to drink a lot less water. And that is just a fact. It's just a fact of life. When my dog was kibble fed, he used to drink a lot more. And now that he's on raw dog food, he drinks a lot less because he gets a lot of the moisture, a lot of the water via the food. So that's another positive in my opinion, hydration. Number 8 has to do with the smell. And a lot of people complain that their dogs smell. And the dog smell, and the dog smells, and the dog smells, the dog smells. Well, let me tell you, your dog is a lot less likely to smell with raw. It's just another fact of life, I'm afraid. Um, Bear in mind that if your dog has any sort of like yeast allergy, yeasty, um, if you get this sort of coat where your dog isn't very very well, doesn't smell very well, that can be another thing. Yeast thrives off of sugar. What converts into sugar? Starches, carbohydrates. So you are going to see a reduction in bad smells in your dog because you are going to be feeding them something fresh, and that fresh food is going to contribute to your dog or to how your dog smells. Like an absolute stunner, to be fair. Number 9 is a stronger immune system, and this is again to do with your dog's gut. If you eat Greek natural yogurt every day with live bacteria, with all the live goodness of the Greek yogurt, your gut is more likely to be producing good bacteria and to be a lot healthier than if you eat a diet full of processed food and processed food only. This happens the same with your dog. If you feed your dog fresh food every single day, your dog's immune system is going to be better equipped to combat any adversities, any gut issues, any health issues whatsoever. Your dog, because you are feeding them something fresh, that something fresh is going to be a lot better. And again, that's something we don't really see and we don't really hear all that much on raw dog food. So your dog might have a better immune system just because you feed them something fresh. And number 10 is going to be, it's species appropriate. It's arguably what they are designed to eat. If you think about this, right? Let's think about this. If your dog were left to their own devices and they were going to catch a small mammal, say a rabbit or say a mouse, if you're a cat, a small mammal, that small mammal, let's say a rabbit, for example, and your dog ate the rabbit or a pigeon, they would eat everything. They would eat the feathers or the fur. They would eat all the organs, the intestines, all the meat, all the bones, the eyes, everything. They would eat everything. It's more species appropriate to your dog. And this is something that it's hard to refute because dogs are dogs and they have the jaws of dogs. And in order for your dog to crunch meat and bone, they need those canasial teeth that crunch meat and bone. And so it's a lot better for them to be fed something that's appropriate to their species. It's a lot better. It's a bit like when astronauts go and on these explorations and they eat gels and they eat all these things. They're not the best things. They are nutritious and they'll survive, and the astronauts will do well, will do okay, but it isn't fresh food that you prepare and you feel the nourishment of it. It will just be something else. It's not the best. So kibble, even if it's the best kibble in the world, it is going to be processed, and it is going to be processed is worse than fresh food. Fresh food is fresh. Fresh is fresh and is species appropriate, biologically appropriate, and it's arguably what your dog needs. So even if you don't feed your dog raw every single day, even if you don't have the time for raw, and that's something that I completely understand, maybe try adding certain raw bits, certain raw things about your dog's diet. How can I boost my dog's diet, my dog's nutrition with the power of raw dog food? So please let me know any comments, any questions you may have about raw dog food. I want to hear from you. What's stopping you? What's not stopping you? Do you like feeding raw dog food? Are you insecure about it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Is it accessible to you? I am aware that a certain part of you guys live in countries where it's a lot harder to get raw dog food, and so I'd be very, very curious to know what you think, and if you have any questions. Why aren't you feeding raw? Does it not suit your lifestyle? Maybe that's something that I always think is a plausible reason. Lots of people don't have the time, don't want to have the time. They do not envision themselves. They can't deal with raw dog food, for example. We get lots of vegetarians being like, listen, I can't really hack it. I know it would be better for them, but I don't really like the thought. It's a valid reason, absolutely valid reason. You do you. You can feed your dog something else, and your dog will be happy. But sometimes people get into these things where it's not maybe what they want to do. And why don't they want to do it? Well, we all have reasons. Another one is nutritional deficiencies, and lots of people do raw dog food incorrectly. They don't know what they are doing. They say they feed raw dog food, but they just feed like chicken breast, and that's all the dog eats. And they have no consideration for bone, no consideration for offal. There's no consideration for anything else apart from what they think it's raw. Or they will feed the dog raw dog food with 50% vegetables. Half the diet will be veggies, and they won't even know how to feed veggies. So it's important that you do it correctly. If it's important that you do it safely, it's important that you educate yourself. And so these are 10 benefits of feeding raw dog food. Improved digestion is fresh. Fresh is fresh. Process is processed. Second one, it's a healthier skin and coat. Your dog's coat will be a lot better. Your dog's coat will be nourished with all those protein amino acids that the dog will be eating. The third one, cleaner teeth. Again, dogs don't have something called amylase, which is an enzyme that breaks down starches in the mouth. And so by not having this enzyme, if you feed them a lot of carbohydrates, they are going to get smelly breath because they aren't breaking down these carbohydrates. You're a lot less likely to get it with raw dog food. Number 4 is fewer allergies. Again, when we know what we are feeding the dog, we can assess the situation. We give the dog goat, we give the dog chicken, the dog has a reaction to the chicken, we remove the chicken, we put ostrich or sardines or something else, and we are able to identify one to one what we are giving the dog. Very, very useful. Number 5 is better weight control. Better weight control because we are more in control of our dog's portions. And our dog's portions are hugely important. We don't want our dog to be fat or to get diabetes or pancreatitis or any of these diseases. Hip dysplasia is big, is massive in dogs. We don't want that in our dog. So increase control of over portions is an absolute winner. Number 6 was increased energy. Again, slow release of energy. Meat has a much lower glycemic index. It's converted into sugar a lot slower than carbohydrates. You can try this. You can eat just corn, like Doritos or potato chips or whatever. At the next meal, you can have Wagyu beef. You tell me what satisfies you more, and it's the Wagyu beef because you have more protein and more fat, and that keeps you fuller for longer. So you are able to even feed yourself less. The same with our dogs. So number 7 was enhanced hydration. Anything that's fresh will contain a lot of moisture naturally, will contain a lot of water naturally. That is an absolute winner. So many dogs suffer from pancreatitis or renal issues or whatever. Enhance hydration with raw dog food. Your dog will drink a lot less water because of this very issue. Because your dog's moisture, water intake will be a lot higher because of the raw dog food. Number 8, they will smell a lot less. And because they smell a lot less, they will make you a bit happier and your family a bit happier. You won't have to put up with a smelly dog, with a dog with dandruff, with a dog with yeast infections, or any other infections that might arise from not having your dog's coat be as it should be. And these can easily be fixed with raw dog food. Number 9 is a stronger immune system. So immune system, again, if you eat something fresh, that fresh food is going to be within you, and it's going to feed all the good bacteria in your gut. Whereas if you feed yourself, if you eat a lot of KFC and all the processed foods, though lovely they might be, they aren't the best for you. They are not going to be the best for your gut, for your colon, for your overall well-being. It's the same with your dog. It's absolutely the same thing. So your dog's immune system will be a bit better. And number 10 is species appropriate. It's species appropriate. It's what they are meant to eat, is what they should be eating. It's what we would ideally want them to eat. Look at their teeth. Look at their digestive system. Look at those canines. Look how they cannot chew food. They wolf it down. They wolf it down for a reason. They wolf it down because that's how carnivores eat their food, eat their prey. So those are 10. Am I missing any? Let me know. Let me know in the comments if I'm missing any of these benefits. But these are pretty good. Let me know if I have missed any of these. Very, very curious as to what you think. Do you have any questions? Please leave them below. We do a Q&A every single week, and the channel is littered with, I think, pretty useful content for you guys. So yeah, let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next one.